let me read this for you guys because I know it's probably kind of hard to see there on your screens. This is from the Michigan Insider. Okay.
Is that Webb? Sam Webb?
No,
Okay.
this I don't know who this person is, but this is on from the Michigan Insider, and Michigan Stuff is his handle. I don't know who that is. Um, this is absolutely hilarious. Are you ready for this? This is a somewhat realistic three deep you hope to see next year if Michigan has transfer portal NIL and a new offensive coordinator. Quarterback Miller Moss, running back Donovan Edwards, and H back Bredesen, tight end Marlon Klein, and then wide receivers X, Z, and the slot. X and Z are transfers. The slot is T. Morris. Offensive tackle, transfer. Offensive guard, El Hadai. Center, transfer. Guard, a transfer. Tackle, right tackle, a transfer. Defensive end, Moore. Defensive tackle, a transfer. A nose tackle, a transfer. Defensive end, Benny. Edge rusher, Barham. Linebacker, Houseman. Linebacker, a transfer. Free safety, Hillman. Strong safety, Barry. The nickel, Rod Moore. Cornerback 1, Jair Hill. Cornerback 2, a transfer. Count up.
That's a whole lot NIL to be dropping on transfers, let me tell you.
You count up the number of transfers this Michigan Insider is counting on. Holy Toledo. You've got to be kidding me.
People great about us going out and getting 5.
Guys, did you? I love that this is a somewhat realistic option for us next year.
Well, the way they're playing this year, it's really the only option for them next year.
Guys, you do realize if you have a postseason ban, no transfer is going to want to come and play for you. Yeah, exactly, V Green. That you can just, wherever you saw transfer, just put that word in, trash. Please. It's unstinking believable. All right, guys, it's time for. Go ahead, JR. Last thought, man.
Their fans just have no perception of reality. Like, I literally, like, there are some shows I listen to just to kind of like have a good understanding of where their fans are at and stuff like that for the Big Ten show. I do, and it is kind of fun to hear them complain. But like, they don't have a sense of reality. Like, they're talking about going out and getting Lane Kiffin and Kirk Cignetti as their next head coach. Like, I got news for you. If you think Ryan Day is bad, dude, you are going to hate Lane Kiffin. Like, Lane Kiffin and Lincoln Riley are worse versions of Ryan Day. Ryan Day actually wins. Like, he actually brings in good recruits and keeps them there. Those two guys are terrible versions, offensive mind versions that they would hate them. They would hate them up there. Or they'd probably, I guess, they get behind them because that's what they do. And then, like, saying, oh, Kirk Cignetti's going to bring all his guys in and turn this all around. And it's like, why would Kirk Cignetti want to come to a place with a huge postseason ban? Like, it would be better to stay in Indiana than go someplace with a huge postseason ban. At least Indiana can make the playoffs. Heck, they're probably going to do it this year.
They're going to do it this year.
Right. As long as they don't lose by 50 points to Ohio State, they're going to do it this year. So, like, it just, for me, it's like they have no sense of reality. We told them all in the offseason, your team is not going to be as good. There were some people who told them 5-7, and I thought that was a little outrageous because I thought they still had talent. I didn't realize the coaching would be this bad. No, I'm saying now it's like, that wasn't outrageous.
They better, if they lose to Northwestern, they're going to be 5-7.
Right, but everybody told them that 9.5 win total you got, it's way too high. You guys are not getting to 10 wins. There is no chance. Not with that schedule, not with the brand new coaching staff, not with the 0 quarterbacks that you have on your roster. Like, there was no chance you were getting to 10 wins. But they refuse to believe it. And part of it, I kind of feel bad for them, guys, because they
never feel bad for them, JR.
I'm just saying part of it because their media just straight up lies to them all the time. all the time their media is lying to them saying, oh yeah, this player's going to do this. This player's going to do this. Like they have no idea. That I saw on that same board, the Michigan Insider board, they were talking about how Ryan Day had blamed one of their insiders was talking about how Ryan Day blamed the sickness or whatever in 2021 and how much of a pansy Ryan Day is because he makes excuses like that. And I was
except they skated in 2020.
Right, like you skated in 2020 for one. Number two, Ryan Day never said that. CJ Stroud mentioned it as a set aside comment. He never expanded on it. He never went into it any further. But they act like Ryan Day got to the podium and was like, oh yeah, we didn't win that game because everybody was sick and all this stuff. Ryan Day has literally never talked about it before, but their insiders make stuff up, and it's annoying when it's about Ohio State, but then when it's about their own team, it's annoying for them because they have no idea what's actually going on. Some people might not like me saying this, and that's fine, but I give my Big Ten perspective, but I actually don't think that the team up north has all that bad of players. Like, their right tackle is awful. The receivers are really bad, but I think Khalil Mullins is actually a pretty good running back. I think that Donovan Edwards has some speed. He just can't find the hole, which is hard to find the hole with the way that offensive line is blocking, particularly because the right tackle every single time is getting beat. So he basically has a free rusher to him every single time. I don't think Davis Warren is the worst quarterback in the world. I'd say he's probably average, but at the end of the day, their coaches have no idea what they're doing. Their coaches, people want to talk about how Ryan Day became a head coach for the first time coming to Ohio State. At least he was in the NFL, right? At least he spent time in organizations and was around really good head coaches. The only football that Sherrone Moore has ever known is G5 football. And then he got to the team up north, and then they were cheating for years. So, and he was under Jim Harbaugh, who really is not all that good of a coach. He just benefited from cheating for a few years. And then now he's there, and he has no idea what he's doing. How in the world can you wait 30 seconds to take a timeout? At that point, you don't even take the timeout. You just let the clock run, right? You let the clock run, and you're like, oh, okay, well, if they get the first down, then we have one in our pocket for later or something like that. You don't wait 30 seconds and then take the timeout. Kirk Campbell, what in the world? He has no idea what he is doing, trying to institute Alex Orji into this offense in such a way that has a threat of pass and for him to be able to run. You have to throw some screen pass. You have to throw something to give there to be some kind of a threat for Orji to not just be hey, I'm going to run at you every single time. But that's what it is. Every single time Orji comes in, he's just going to run up the middle, and it helps when you know that the other team's just going to run it up the middle. Sorry, fans up north, but it helps to know the other teams, know what the other team's going to do. And then on defense, that defensive line is they're actually pretty good. I mean, Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant, I'll give them credit. They haven't quit like Will Johnson has, and Josiah Stewart, he's a pretty good pass rusher, but they have no help on the back end. The secondary is awful, and Barham is not. I mean, he doesn't really do anything at linebacker well other than blitzing. I mean, he's like their CJ Hicks. Blitz him, and that's about all you can do with him. And then Ernest Hausman can't make a tackle to save his life. He misses tackles all the time. So, I mean, they have some good players here and there, but not enough to make up for the poor coaching and overall just poor decision-making that the coaches have. I actually do kind of hope the team up north gets Bryce Underwood, because if they do, they're going to go crazy and be like, oh, Sherrone Moore, this great recruiter, he brought in Bryce Underwood, and it's going to buy him another year or two. Sherrone Moore, he's not a good coach. For $10 million, Bryce Underwood would come to the team up north if the Mouse was a head coach. For $10 million, it doesn't matter who the head coach is. And if Bryce Underwood is looking at what they're putting on the field right now and saying, oh, yeah, I'll go take $10 million to do that, he's not serious about football. He's not serious about wanting to improve and get to the NFL. If anything, he's like, well, I'll go and stay for a year, get my money, and then transfer back out to LSU or wherever I actually wanted to go. It's just, for me, I hear some of them talk about how great of a recruiter Sherrone Moore is and all this stuff, and I'm like, guys, everybody would be a really good recruiter if they were paying $10 million to a kid.
Barstool Sports is a great recruiter.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
And now there's a rumor out there they're looking at Miller Moss. So awesome.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah. And I made this comment Thursday, and I'll make it again. If Miller Moss cannot improve
under
Lincoln Riley, what makes you think he's going to do any better in that offense?
Especially the weapons they have. Like they have good wide receivers at USC. They don't have them at the team up north.
Yeah.